Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Ben Solak from ESPN this was an interesting exercise. He did a quarterback mock draft. So this wasn't like a 7-round mock, a 2-round mock. This was, where will every quarterback be taken in the 7 rounds of the NFL draft? Just the quarterbacks. It's like the first one's easy, right? Cam Ward from Miami going number 1 overall to the Tennessee Titans. This is one that you're probably going to find interesting. He does have Shedeur Sanders going 3 to the Giants. And I honestly think there is a really good chance that happens. Now, we went through the betting odds, and Sanders has the 3rd best odds of going 3 overall. Now, maybe it's Abdul Carter, maybe it's Travis Hunter. It's just a matter of who goes 2, right, and how that may work. But the draft starts at 3. And I don't think that signing Jameis and Russ precludes New York from drafting a quarterback at 3. I think it's absolutely something they could do and something they've shown the willingness to do in the past, which is pull the trigger on a quarterback early. And if they like Shedeur Sanders, why not? Now, you have a coaching staff there that needs to win now, lest they be fired. And that's why you have Jameis and Russ. So you have 2 veterans there who could probably win games for you as a stopgap until you get to your next guy, and maybe drafting Shedeur gives you the opportunity to let him sit, watch for a year before having to take over potentially in 2026. So I don't rule out at all the possibility of Shedeur coming off the board at number 3, and that wouldn't surprise me. Now, that's it for quarterbacks in round 1. They do not have the Saints taking a round 1 quarterback. The next quarterback off the board that he projects is Jackson Dart. That's not a great surprise, but he has him in round 2 to the Cleveland Browns, which would make a ton of sense for Cleveland. If you get Travis Hunter, number 2, who might be the best overall player in the draft, and then get your quarterback in round 2, at the top of round 2 in Jackson Dart, that would be really a win-win for Cleveland if it were to work out that way. Tyler Shuck from Louisville is another guy. Now, remember, the Saints pick at 40, but the next quarterback off the board has got his Tyler Shuck at 52 to Seattle. So you've now gone through the Saints' first 2 picks without taking a quarterback. He does have the Saints drafting a quarterback, however. It's not Jalen Milroe, who he has going in round 3 to Pittsburgh. And that's an interesting one because Pittsburgh needs to take a quarterback. Do they do it in round 1? Do they wait till round 3 for a guy like Milroe? Maybe. But for New Orleans, he does project the Saints to take a quarterback in round 4, and it's Kyle McCord from Syracuse. Now, this is someone we talked about last week because the Saints had a visit with Kyle McCord. And this is, for me anyway, a fascinating test case. This is one of those guys where I look and go, why isn't Kyle McCord higher on draft boards? This goes to the point of me not being a scout and not knowing what scouts are looking for. Because McCord is 6'3", 218, so he has great size. And he's got great film. He threw for nearly 4,800 yards, led the country this year at Syracuse, and 34 touchdowns. Also, a pretty athletic guy as well. That's a guy to me who should project higher, but for whatever reason, they have here as a day 3 pick. Now, if this is where the Saints settle and they take a guy like Kyle McCord in round 4, I'd be fine with that for a lot of reasons. First, and maybe most importantly, it lets you address need with cornerstone players early in the draft. If you think Shedeur Sanders at 9, if he's there, is a reach, then you don't take a quarterback at 9. You take the best player on your board. Because when you're picking at 9, you will absolutely have somebody on the board who's in your top 10 of the draft. Like, it's just math. One of your top 10 draft picks, one of your top 10 prospects in the entire draft is going to be on the board when you pick at 9. It's just math. So take that player. Take the highest rated player available at 9, and you're over the moon. And then when you pick at 40, if Dart's off the board, then you can take the next highest graded player that you have. And maybe you end up with a cornerback and a defensive end, or an interior offensive lineman and an edge rusher, or however it may shake out, or a receiver at 40, whatever it may be. You're going to get really good players at positions of need that could be impact guys for you. And this approach would allow you effectively to take a shot on a quarterback with my nickel slot theory in day 3. If you haven't heard me explain it, I look at day 3 quarterbacks as like the nickel slots. It's low risk, high reward. Just keep feeding your nickels. Just throw a nickel in there every year. Take a quarterback every year in day 3. I don't care. I mean, you've wasted so many day 3 picks on guys like Tommy Stevens and Matt Tennant and guys that never did a thing for the New Orleans Saints. Take a shot on a quarterback. Maybe it's Dak. Maybe it's Kirk Cousins. Maybe it's Russ was round 3, day 2. But you understand the point. Maybe it's Brock Purdy. Maybe you come up with a guy who becomes a starting quarterback for you in the NFL. Now, odds are you're not. Odds are it's going to bust. But what if you hit on the guy? Well, it cost you a day 3 pick, and if it doesn't work out, so what? Just take another one next year until you're willing to invest the first-round pick. And maybe that's the approach. Because Kellen Moore eventually is going to want to draft his franchise quarterback. He is a quarterback who played quarterback, coached quarterbacks, offensive coordinator, now a head coach. He is going to want to, you've got to accept this reality that he is going to want to draft his franchise quarterback. Sean Payton brought in Drew Brees. He didn't need to use the draft. Dennis Allen, not an offensive guy. They went the approach of signing Derek Carr. It didn't work. Kellen Moore is going to want to draft his franchise. He's going to want to have the opportunity to do that. And if it's not there this year, okay, you've got a stopgap with Derek Carr. I mean, you have a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. I've said this forever about Derek Carr. He's just not elite. He's just a lower, mid-tier, upper bottom-tier starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a starting quarterback. You're just never going to win anything of significance with him. So you go into the season with Derek Carr, maybe likely his final in New Orleans, and then next year, you go all in to draft your franchise, wherever that may be. If you're drafting top 10, if you have to move up to get the guy, whatever it may be. Next year maybe is your year where you have a deeper quarterback draft class. So I like this approach. And I honestly think this is probably the more realistic way it goes, because I'm not convinced Shedeur is going to be on the board when the Saints pick at 9, and I don't know if they think he's one of the top 10 best players in the draft. And if that goes that way, then it's more likely that the Saints, if they take a quarterback, it would be happening in day 3 instead of top 3 picks in the draft. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.